When it's Friday night, there's nothing to do. Start a new show and you suck like glue. What I binged this weekend.
Welcome to What I Binged This Weekend. What I binged this weekend was freaking awesome. I went back and I decided, hey, done enough video games, let me watch movies. And I watched a movie that I had seen commercials for, and I thought, oh man, this would be really cool. Didn't realize it was so easily accessible until I was scrolling through looking at stupid things, and I went, holy shit, there it is. It's called The Deadlands. It's a New Zealand production. It's like an hour and 49 minutes. You can catch it on Netflix now, and I don't know when it's going to go off of Netflix, but it's like, how can I explain it? It's a martial arts movie based in traditional Maori culture. Maori being the native New Zealand people. And holy shit, it's done entirely in the Maori language. There's no English or anything. All the actors, to my knowledge, were Maori descendants of some kind. I looked up a couple of the actors and I couldn't pronounce their names. And even like their anglicized names I couldn't pronounce. And so basically starting out, this teenager, he's the son of the chief, and his village gets wiped out in a night attack, right? And so he says, I need to get revenge on the person who did this. And he goes and gets help from this guy that they just call the Warrior. And he's from this dead tribe, and he's scary. He's freaking like kicks ass, takes names, and eats people. He eats people. And yeah.
Not a German cannibal, but it's
not a German cannibal, but it's a cannibal. Yeah. And so basically from there they meet up, and then they go on this path tracking these people and killing them, and you find out more about the Warrior, and you find out more just really interesting in the sense of it's like that typical Universal story of something bad happens to this person, and they go on a journey, the hero's journey, and then at the end, they are personally elevated in skills, status, or moral system. And so, like, this movie, oh my god. Okay, so not only is it based in traditional Maori culture, but they use traditional Maori weapons. So at the end, one of the antagonists, who's this badass fighter himself, he legit gets shark tooth weapons. Like, I'm not, like wood that has shark teeth in it, and wooden swords with shark teeth. And he fights in that, with that, and I was just sitting there like, that's fucking awesome. The other thing is they have this club that looks more like a ping pong paddle, except like you're like, oh okay, that's just an oval looking ping pong paddle, until they bash someone's head in, like with one hit. And then somewhere like about 2/3 of the way through, you meet this chick, and this chick fights, and she has two of those ping pong paddle things, and she's got them on a long cord that goes around her wrist, and she's fucking whipping that shit like nunchucks, right? And she's kicking ass and taking names. Like, the fight scenes were fucking awesome. And on top of that, there were a couple moments when they did this war dance, the haka, and you can catch people doing that before rugby games. They've done this before for fallen soldiers who've returned home. Like, it's really intimidating when they're like muscled out and you can see their muscles and they're sitting there with these weapons that look completely harmless, and they're just making these crazy ass faces, screaming and like sticking their tongue out, just you know, and like fucking hitting the ground and shit. And then they're like, you know, and then when they start fighting and they're beating people to death with ping pong paddles, like, oh my god, it was so awesome. Oh man, it was just so awesome. It was I really enjoyed it because it was the traditional hero's journey, but through the lens of the Maori culture, and that was the coolest fucking part for me. And then you throw in, obviously, the badass fight scenes, and it was just so awesome, so intense. I didn't necessarily like a couple of the slow moments, but, you know, it was still made interesting because you learn more about the warrior and that character. But holy shit, like, that movie, I like thinking about it gives me an adrenaline dump, and I'm just like, oh, I want to fucking beat someone to death with a ping pong paddle. That's what they call it.
Okay.
And so, if you get a chance to watch this, I would say, like a 9 out of 10.
Short ping pong battle.
Bloody ping pong clubs. That's what I would rate it. 9 out of 10 bloody ping pong paddles.
With shark teeth on them.
With motherfucking shark teeth on them. With lasers on the shark teeth. And so if you get a chance to watch it, it's called The Deadlands.